Yeah, he's home. I gotta go. Okay. Hi, honey, how are you?
Hey, Mom.
Hi. How was school?
It was first day of school, challenging. I don't know. My teacher he just had us going on all these websites, and all these people were just calling us, and
Was this in your real estate class?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My real estate class. That professor, I mean, I'm just not really understanding what he's trying to do. I mean, we go to these websites, we're not getting accurate information. These people don't know what they're doing, and they're just like all over the place.
Did you bring up to him what we talked about? You know, getting more serious about buying a home?
I talked to him about it, yeah, and he mentioned to me something about renting and buying around the 300,000 mark, and you know, I just don't really understand what he was trying to tell me. I don't get it.
What do you feel like, though? Is it something you're still interested? I think personally, honey, your father and I have discussed it. You should get very serious about this.
I think so too. I mean, I know I see all the advantages of it and the benefits of doing it, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, you know, there's a part of me where I might just want to rent with some friends. You know, I'm not really exactly sure what route I want to go on because I don't even understand my professor.
Sure. Yeah. It's very complicated, and I won't claim to be a professional. Your father, of course, you know, he does the mortgages in the household. He's a professional at this. But we talked last night, and I wanted to share some things with you just to help guide you through that decision. Would you allow Mama to do that?
Of course, Mom. You know I'll always listen to you.
Okay. All right. So, like your professor, in fact, I actually queued your professor up to put this in your mind, the 300,000, because I think it's very important that you're considering all the right details. Now, I want you to be a big boy and make your own decisions, but it's very important you understand the finances behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
But you're saying you don't understand anything your professor had told you, huh?
I don't.
Okay. So these are the reports that your father and I ran just to help you more so understand the value, of what we're encouraging you to really do here. So we have buying versus renting, and I know that you mentioned that you weren't sure. You wanted to possibly rent with some friends. You may not want, to be shackled down to a permanent thing, right?
Right.
Well, as you know, you can always buy and sell real estate. Of course, you're going to buy from a seller. So I want you to really grasp the value of if you were to purchase versus rent, you can get into a home. As you can see here, what we have compared here is a $300,000 home. That's a pretty average home in our town. We're showing buying year one versus renting year one, and then all the way through year 9, what that can do for you. And I think, you may sell somewhere between years 7 and 9 and move up by that time. But, the important thing for you to understand here is your monthly expenses are almost identical. And this even takes into account an estimate on what repairs you might have to do in the home. Whereas, the landlord, of course, makes the repairs for you. So it becomes cheaper and maybe less of a headache. But we've already baked in the possibility of you having to make those repairs. And year one, you're within $65 of the same expense year one. And if your buddies are renting from you as opposed to you renting with them, I think you're going to come out ahead in that respect, or at least along the same lines. But where this really gets interesting, sweetheart, is this, okay? Appreciation gains. So we've seen since you've been looking, the homes have continued to go up in price, right?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can keep up anymore.
Yeah, and it's worrisome. I think the next report will go into some of that stuff that your father and I ran for you. But appreciation, this is estimated over the next 9 years what appreciation will do on an average forecast from third-party sources. This is not something your father and I made up just to talk you into this. This is third-party validated information. And you're going to make $104,000 potentially on that $300,000 home in just 9 years. Could you imagine?
Whoa!
Yeah.
I could go to Vegas.
Yes, I know, and throw it all on red. But that would be the irresponsible piece, and we're trying to talk you into a more responsible approach here.
Oh yeah.
So
you're right.
Now on top of that, your friends are going to help you pay the rental, right? You guys are going into this together, is what your thoughts were.
Oh yeah, that means that they can probably buy me a razor.
They might be able to, sure. But instead what we'll do is we'll dump all of their money into the mortgage payments. So your housing expenses are less expensive.
Okay.
You can save some money and
Yeah.
pay for your school instead of racking up student loans.
Yeah.
But on top of that, while making the same payments that you're going to make on a rental, and as a matter of fact, over 9 years, your rental is expected to go up almost $600 a month based on how the rent schedules increase because landlords continue to charge you more and more every year. Wow. Whereas your mortgage would be a fixed payment. So if your buddies will be willing to move in with you, you own the home and you each pay rent, you could also make another $48,000, almost $50,000 in equity by paying it down with the same payments.
I get it now. I get it.
Yeah. So in
Okay.
9 years, you could have $145,000 in your pocket. Could you imagine?
Wow.
Yeah, you could finally move out of the basement.
Yeah, that would be real nice.
It would be, yeah.
I could get my own bathroom.
We agree. Yes, it would be great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So as I said, honey, we created another report. So you mentioned, maybe you should just rent and buy later, when you're done with school and out of the parties. And, it's very disappointing for your father and I. But I understand where you're coming. I want you to understand, though, it's very important you make a good financial decision here.
Right.
So have you seen this report? Did your professor show you this?
This is the one that I'm just not really understanding. Maybe you could just break it down for me. He mentioned something about 6 months, a year, 3 years. I don't really know.
So what he was trying to tell you, on top of, the value of you owning the home that you and your buddies will technically rent from yourself, on top of that, what we're showing here is if you just waited, till next semester, like I know you've mentioned, you don't want to get too serious. You want to have freedom for the winter time so you can be out snowboarding and not have all of this overhead expense. And I understand that's important, but here's what I want you to understand. Is it important enough to lose $9,600 in the next 6 months? Or $20,000, nearly $20,000 in the next 12? Or like you said, if you want to just wait until you graduate and just postpone the whole thing, you're possibly at risk to lose $36,000. That would be the cost of that. Is it really that worth it?
Oh my goodness. No, not at all. I need to jump on this right away.
Absolutely.
I'm going to call my real estate agent.
You should do that.
And not off one of those flimsy websites.
No.
I want a real one.
Professional. His name is Giovanni Delacorte. He is the best in the business. And I think you need to reach out to him.
Wow, Mom, you're right. I think you're totally right. And I'm going to call Broch right away to make sure that he gets my mortgage done.
Yes. We need to get that pre-approval completed.
I love him.
We love you, honey.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Mom. This makes so much better sense.
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
Sweetheart.
Appreciate you. Well, that was a little bit of humor for you from us. I hope you enjoyed it. My mother over here was played by Broch Lassig.
And my sweet son, Giovanni Delacorte, professional realtor.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Anyways, we really hope you enjoyed it. You had some good laughs. Hope you learned something out of it. Contact me with any of your real estate needs. I'm here for you anytime. You guys know that. And I'm very professional, I promise.
Absolutely. And Broch Lassig, I do mortgages. That's my part in this whole gig. If you guys want to see some custom reports like the ones that we talked about in the video today, we can generate anything custom for you. Cost of waiting or renting versus buy, so you can truly make an educated decision. We'd love to help you out anything you need, so please give us a shout.
Let us know. And this is the final cut for the Broch and Gio Show, episode number 2.